Oh my God. Episode 21, ConserVengers, Captain's Log, day 721 of flattening the curve and the curve coming back up. We are about to have a second booby on the actual thing. It's literally going to look like two humps, two mounds. We're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff today. We've got Suni on, we've got Casey, Easy E, and Kevin LaRusso. It's not really, but I just feel like doing it close because he's got the Russo in there and it feels like Karate Kid. Anyways, start sharing this episode. We got so much to talk about. We're going to be sharing, we're going to be showing the Fauci versus Rand Paul. We're going to be showing Pelosi blocking some people like Jim Jordan from being part of the January 6th commission. Tom Brady trolls Brady, yet at the same time, they're managing to make it sound like he was trolling Trump, which is completely incorrect. Shocker. What else we got? I don't know if anybody's been watching the Cluster F. That is the Biden town hall with Don Lemon, a whole bunch of softballs and lemonade. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things we've heard on that. We've got a great cast. We're going to get started. Hit the share button, hit the like button, let people know we've gotten started. I'm seeing people starting to trickle in. So it's go time, sons of bitches. Let's roll. ConserVengers to the rescue. What's up, you sons of biscuits? It's time for ConserVengers. Please hit the share button, hit the like button. And yeah, it looks as though nobody got the notification on Facebook that we started. So please share it out there and let's get this party started. We've got a great cast. No need for major introductions. But everybody, how's everybody doing tonight? We got Kevin, Easy E, Suni, and everybody's favorite libertarian.
Facts.
Suni is alive. She was just rocking it out. Suni, tell us, how was the monsoon?
Russo, what's a monsoon, man?
What's that?
We had a monsoon? Like when?
I don't know. You had like a storm yesterday. Everybody was asking how Suni was in the monsoon. They're like, is Suni alive? Is she okay?
We had a typhoon, yeah.
Whatever.
It was actually fun. We have typhoon parties, we turn up, barbecue, put the Xbox on, put the music on, put the kids to bed, and you just listen to the wind. It was literally like for 4 hours, and then they were like, oh, you guys come back to work.
So if there's a pretty lit party when there's a typhoon, that means that if shit gets jiggy, then it becomes a little bit of a monsoon down below. See, that's what I was really getting at. You know what I mean? Did you and the Hubs bump uglies last night?
That was a dad joke.
That was a perverted ass dad joke. Let's be honest.
Russo, do you know typhoon is like a hurricane in your area, right?
Right when she corrected me, I figured out why I was wrong, which is why I made the joke about the monsoon in her underpants because they had a typhoon party. Why the F is there only 70 people watching? Let's go, people. Share this.
I don't know.
This shit's fire. It's funny. Like, let's.
Hey, I let my awesome audience on IG know, so you're probably going to see a lot of new faces on YouTube.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, I don't. Well, again, Easy said there was no Facebook notification, which awesome.
Really?
Yeah. So, and I did not show.
You know what you should do, Russo?
What?
Take it down. Like, remove the stream and then throw it right back up. Everybody should get a notification.
Will that be how it works? Well, we just jumped up about 15 people. Well, 10.
Where are they watching? There's 30. We just can't see their comments. That's weird.
You can't see comments?
No, I'll be back.
I see a bunch of comments. There's 35 people watching on each.
It must be that monsoon typhoon thing that just occurred. Or comments. It's just
Suni refrained from snapping on Mitch. I'm sorry. We had Mitch on the show. No issues with Mitch. I think Mitch is all right until the fact that Mitch has become. I'm almost positive that he is the "Don't Support Trump" page. I'm almost positive he uses the exact same verbiage. I don't know, and that page I cannot stand. Anyways, what do we want to talk about first? So many fun things. You want to go straight into the Fauci Rand Paul video? Because that's
Fauci, man. Can we talk about how Kamala Harris just disrespected every Christian in the world?
Yeah, well, you were too busy hip hop anonymous in the background when I was trying. I'm like, hey, Suni, do you want to pull up that video from your IG live? And you're like,
I was trying to cheers you. I was trying to cheers you, and there was no response.
Listen, when I'm in the zone, that's it.
Jackie said she came in on the wrong part. Let's hope that Suni's hubs didn't come on. Okay, all right.
We're not going there.
We need a good laugh this week.
Okay.
All right. Do you have the clip?
Yeah, we have camel toe. Heels up Harris, camel toe.
Oh God,
pretty good.
Let me pull it up. Yo, when she said this, you know what? You want to know what I wanted to do earlier? You did, and I laughed secretly off camera. I had to turn the camera off because the conversation was serious. And he put the stupidest comment in the comment section, and I had to turn the camera off. I'm not even going to give you the satisfaction of talking about it.
Hey, but you pinned the comment.
By the way, I keep forgetting that you live overseas, Suni, so I'll like hop on Instagram and see that you're like on at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, what is it? Just constantly, I'm like, what is going on?
Yo,
and
my IGs are lit though, aren't they?
It's pretty fun to watch.
People ask me if I don't go live for the day, they're like, Suni, I'm having withdrawals.
Are you okay? Is there a monsoon? Why aren't you going live?
Okay. Here's Kamala.
We haven't seen her in 3 hours.
Damn, did I share the audio?
I make you bet you didn't.
She didn't. Who's betting?
Everybody mute. I bet you I did. I bet you I didn't.
The act of getting vaccinated is the very essence of what the Bible tells us when it says, love thy neighbor. Right?
How much you want to bet?
Oh
that
my
room
gosh.
was full of niggas. And they said, yes, pastor, preach. She don't even know what she's talking about. Yes, I said it. I need to know who was in that room, bro. You clearly don't read your Bible. Clearly.
Dude, it's the same thing as when Trump starts going up and talking about God and Jesus and stuff. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's appealing to a base. Like, and that's what she's trying to do. They're trying to appeal to the rural hick that has no idea. They're trying to appeal to the rural hick Christian, or what they think it is, by using the Bible against them. And it's like, first and foremost, you probably haven't listened to a pastor's sermon in about a decade. But you probably haven't listened to a pastor's sermon in about a decade.
Oh, man.
Oh my God! Did you? I thought I heard people booing. By the way, because I was like,
yeah, we can run it back. Let's run it back.
No, can we get an instant replay? Can we get a blasphemy instant replay real quick?
Go ahead.
Hit the play button.
Right. The act of getting vaccinated is the very essence of what the Bible tells us when it says, love thy neighbor. Right? The act of getting vaccinated.
That was black people, okay? Yeah. That's what we do in church on Sunday. When the pastor says something good, that's what you hear the crowd do.
You could literally hear her stop and think, am I really about to do this?
Yeah.
Thank you. She hesitated.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Literally, she's like, I made a deal with the devil. She's like, this is the essence of
Well,
she just stops for a moment.
It's not the devil. It's just Hillary Clinton.
She's like, are they going to believe me if I say this? Of course they are.
Easy, just
I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed that she hesitated.
Oh yeah,
and I was talking about this on my live. I'm like, you know what? Maybe she has like a slither of a soul, and she's like, I'm really about to just do Jesus and this Bible dirty.
Well, so you can like, if you really start paying attention to people that you think are deceptive and manipulative, you can catch on to it. You can catch on to the little cues. So like, obviously they understand that there has to be it looks really bad to be atheist still somehow, some way, Yeah. It's still a bad look despite what they've tried to do to remove God. But like, so when someone's being deceptive like that, at least in my opinion, my observation, that idea right there, you have to use this against them. that represents the manipulation, the deceit. And so like you pause for a second because you want to make sure you nail it, or you're thinking about it for a second. Like some people will stop and think about it because they're like, do I really want to do this? Some people will stop and think about it because are they really going to believe this? She doesn't think that they're going to buy it. I fully believe she doesn't think they're going to buy it because she knows it's total bullshit. And so she's like, are they? And you can tell she goes, yeah, they're going to buy it. They're going to eat it up.
They don't care what people think anymore. They are putting all they care about is making sure that the voting bills pass, and they're making sure, because right now they are putting themselves in an authoritarian position to run the country no matter what the American public votes for or wants at this point. Yes. If they can make sure that they continue to do this. Tonight he used the word Jim Crow on steroids. So they've now skipped 2.0 and gone straight to steroids. So it's like, and again, I waited because he was talking about the voting bill, because somebody asked the question, like, how can we make sure, sorry, CNN gave me $1,000 to ask. So how do we make sure that our voting rights? And he legit just, he did a 30-second circle around using Jim Crow, and not once explain the issues that they have. The only one is voter ID, which has too many holes in it, so they avoid it. There is not a single person that can explain why this is Jim Crow, except for using the term Jim Crow.
Look, it's so frustrating. You know, do you guys ever do this where there's a movie out there that's got like really good final scenes where like good triumphs over evil, and it's got this magnificent battle, but the rest of the movie kind of blows and you don't really want to watch it? Like Star Wars Attack of the Clones, great example. The end battle is great. Like I just want to hit skip.
Show the shirt. Son of a nutcracker. Now you know. Yeah. So yeah, back to the movie.
Yeah, so it's like we know where this is going to end up. Like, good is going to triumph. It's going to reach its breaking point where they can no longer maintain all these these contradicting narratives, and it's going to collapse in on itself. And I just really want to skip to that part. I want to skip. I know where in the movie it takes place. Can I just get there, please?
I got bad news. This collapse is not going to be like, when Bill Maher made that asshole statement where he said he wanted the economy to collapse. It's not going to be the same. Like, he said that. I understood what he said. It was probably the worst thing that you could possibly say. It's cold. It's like you're from a place of making $20 million a year and you're like, oh, let's hope that everybody ends up fucking homeless. But what you're talking about and what could happen is it's not a recession. It's not a depression. It is the end of the United States of America. So I think it's that, to me, from the inside looking around, it's that serious. I do believe, and we talked about the fall of Rome. I don't think we're that far off. Casey's got a small gun.
What did Rome turn into in the end? Rome turned into what is now Italy, Greece, Spain, Portugal. Like Rome, while Rome doesn't exist, it turns into a bunch of new countries that then went forth and turned something good out of it, right? So who's to say that the worst thing possible isn't that the United States kind of like devolves into something more akin to the European Union, where you have small independent countries that have their own constitutions they have to abide by, but are unified and do participate in interstate trade. It's just that no longer can California tell Texans that they can't have guns anymore, or no longer can people in Minnesota do whatever it is that Minnesotans do to someone in Michigan. So, when you
put it like that, I'm down. I mean, if Texas can be its own place, I'm completely fine with that. I just think the path to get there is going to be a little ugly. And what that does is open us up for foreign intervention. It's not like, Rome, they separated. There's too much value to the United States of America. There's too many. Go ahead.
I want to interject there because real quick, we will tribalize if we start to split up, and all of a sudden China starts knocking on the door and says, hey, well, we're coming in now, you guys look weak. Immediately we're going to reunionize, because that's what you do.
You know the solution? Let's just build a Chinese wall, the Great Wall of China, and put George Floyd's mural all over it, and lightning will keep striking it and just blowing it up. Can we just keep do that all the way around our country? We'll be safe. We'll be fine.
No,
That's how we're going to solve this
everyone
problem.
will be okay.
We're not, realistically speaking, China doesn't want to destroy the United States. Actually, they want to control the United States. They want to manipulate them. They don't want a crushed rubble of the United States. They want a United States that, I actually think they would prefer it, didn't know that China was actually in control. They would love that. It would make Winnie the Pooh super happy over there in Pooh Bear Land up at the top of the Communist Party. It would make him. It would make him feel fantastic.
Essentially, what's going on right now.
Yeah. Oh, wait a second. That's weird. Huh?
Yeah.
Weird.
So I'll just point this out. One of the most peaceful transfers of power ever has been from our government control and from the people to overseas interests, particularly in China. So when we talk about peaceful transitions of power, I just will point out that look what's happened just in the last 6 or 8 months since we've had a change of policy and attitude towards a specific country, towards leadership, right? So
we just lack perspective on any of this. We all do. Everybody does.
Right.
We lack perspective.
No, we absolutely do. And China is. We always look at China as a market to enter as Americans because they're 2 billion strong. We're 350 million, right? So as a consumer-driven economy, we always look at China as an opportunity, and that's why sports are so big. That's why. But at some point, the operation shifted from becoming the owner of the business to becoming a salaried employee on the payroll. And that is the tremendous difference in where we stand in the world today in comparison to China. Now, just really quickly, if I can touch back, Kamala, I don't remember reading. I mean, I'm not a huge biblical scholar, but I don't remember reading "Get your vaccine is a virtue." So I'll just kind of put that out there. And to address,
what do you think Jesus spit in the mud was? He spit in the mud.
This is not a vase. This is a beer ball.
Okay, so real question. So, I mean, we're spinning it off of her being, talking about the vaccine. And I got to know, America is supposed to be the land of the free, and we're seeing what's happening across the world right now. Well, maybe not everybody because they're not really putting it on mainstream news. But if you look at France, if you look at Australia, if you look at Ireland, if you look at all these foreign countries, they're imposing worse things than we have right now, but these can change super fast. So in Paris, they are now making it where if you are not vaccinated by August 7th, you are not allowed to go to cafes, restaurants. The country is on a lockdown for those that are unvaccinated. That's a big deal. What happens if that is implemented in the United States? We've already started doing it on low levels. If that happens in the United States, do we fight back? Do we actually have marches? Do we protest that? Or are we right now just laying down as a country?
Can we just figure out a way to send all of our current government, just send them all hunting with Dick Cheney?
No, they're going to come back alive, though. That's
yeah, just going to have a sore ass.
Imagine being so powerful that you could shoot someone in the face and they're going to apologize to you.
Yep.
Like Donald Trump said that people would still vote for him if he did that to someone on Fifth Avenue. Like Donald Trump doesn't even have the power to shoot someone in the face on Fifth Ave and then have them apologize for being in the way of the bullet, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, I caught your bullet with my teeth, Donnie. My bad.
So I got a violation on my TikTok, which was the video was going viral at the time. It was about 10,000 views, but it was because
You're 40 and you're on TikTok. Was that it?
What was that? I didn't hear what you said, Kevin. Say it again. Anyways, so we lost Kevin. Super weird. No, but I had this video where there's a 20-year-old girl that is doing a TikTok video and doing this whole like clap dance thing that has myocarditis, and is in the hospital from the vax, and understanding that it's from the vax and still saying like, it's okay. They just give me medicine. I'm here. I did it for the greater good and like the cause, and like it still saves lives. I'm like, you're a 20-year-old that is in a hospital with an inflamed heart taking medications that could have permanent damage. And you're so brainwashed. You've literally been shot in the face and are still okay with it. The fuck? And anyways, I just made fun of her a little bit, and needless to say, today that was pulled. So, yeah.
Aw, poor. Now the
world.
world doesn't get to see as much Russo on TikTok.
I had
Such
a good.
tragedy.
No, I'm still on TikTok. Just that video. Hey, I've had some good ones on there. I was actually surprised. My video with David from, whatever that show is called, didn't go more viral. I thought that one was quite funny.
Anybody getting claustrophobic right here with someone's head swelling?
Yeah.
Anyways, looks like it's just me for tonight.
God,
All right.
his nose is so big. What?
It's TikTok, man.
TikTok Anonymous.
I mean, I'll
Anyway,
just say
Now
this,
you're self-conscious. Is your
clearly-
nose big? Who knows? I don't really think so, but do I? No, you'll never
Clearly,
know.
Russo, your personal credit in the Chinese system has declined by at least 15 social points. So you're going to need
Damn.
to correct that TikTok and apologize in Mandarin if possible, please.
We're gonna need you to go to a Panda Express and tell them that it's not real Chinese food. That'll bump your
First of all,
cred up a little bit.
wait a minute. I just ate Panda Express, okay?
Hello, welcome to Panda.
And
It's not bad.
It didn't take like barbecue, Rottweiler, or Chihuahua. It tasted like chicken, some beans. It actually tasted like real food here.
Important question. Do you know what Rottweiler, Chihuahua, those things taste like?
Chihuahua's a little gamey, but Rottweiler tastes like that's a good meat right there. That's a good cut.
Well, Peter's now officially pissed off. Awesome.
I saw one of those signs. It's one of those PETA signs, and it's all the animals lined up. It says, "Where do you draw the line between pet and food?" And it's like dogs, cats, pigs, and stuff. And someone goes, puts it between like pigs and dogs right here on a normal day, and then puts it between like parrots and cats if we're in an apocalypse. It's like, well, yeah.
It's okay. They'll walk your dog for free.
Walk your dog right to a kill shelter because it's better the dog be dead than in your service. That's what PETA does. Sorry. That's what PETA does. That's not what I'm advocating.
I think
I hate
TikTok
PETA.
might be a little racist, because my videos are definitely better than yours, Russo. I definitely put out
Look,
better content than you, bro.
I'm just going to lay out.
What is that? Ain't
Hold on,
that
what
about
is
a bitch? 250 views, 66 followers.
Ew.
I'm black.
Well,
Hey, you gotta
you
get
know-
that white privilege card.
No, you know what happened? So I had one video, I think, about the women's soccer team that had like 100,000 views or some shit. And I don't know how it started or what happened. Like all of a sudden I woke up, I was like, what the hell? And that's how I got all my followers. So,
Hey, well, send them this way, bro. Throw them on throw them at the ConserVengers crowd.
now, you want it for the show. Now I get it.
Yeah.
So, do you see this comment? I'm fighting to get my money back to cruise. If you're not vaccinated, you won't be able to get off the ship when they get to the island. It's not just the United States. Our whole world is fucking gone berserk.
Have you ever heard of the word mutiny? Okay. Like, they're going to kick all the people that would side with the captain off the ship. I'm just saying that's a cruise ship ready for the taking. I'm not saying you should, but that's a cruise ship. Come on.
Go ahead. Soons.
So I don't want to mess the conversation up, but who said we shouldn't worry about China, or China just is not going to bother the US?
Okay, I didn't say that we shouldn't worry about China.
Okay.
But the stance I do take is China and us are not going to go to war unless there is significant provocation.
Okay.
We are too interlocked as far as the most vital thing in the world is concerned, and that is money. We are still China's most important asset on the economic market, and until that is no longer true, we are too important for them to launch anything. Now, what's going on in Taiwan is interesting, but
I was just about to bring that up because we're deep in Korea, Japan.
Yeah.
All right, they're our allies, and they're threatening war over Taiwan right now. Everybody knows about what's going on between the U.S., China, and Taiwan.
Yeah.
This is not the first time. They have now put out propaganda. They're like, I'm in Japan, so I take
this. This is why I should have started by saying I didn't mean China. What I was talking about was mainland Taiwan, or more colloquially known as Northeast Nepal. That's all I should have. I should have clarified. Mainland Taiwan is getting a little bit upset at island Taiwan. So
yeah,
Hey, Casey, I don't know if you heard Kevin. I think that's a good segue. He said nipple. So how about you go ahead and find that picture of Jen Psaki's jacket yesterday?
Ooh, she's a fireball. I love
God.
I'm gonna have to circle back with you on
redheads.
that, Kevin. I don't know if I agree or not.
I gotta look at
She's
her.
absolutely not.
Is it bad that her face hurts my eyes?
She looks like the person that was like, excuse me, you haven't collected homework yet.
Oh God,
excuse me.
We've now upset PETA again. Awesome. While Casey is bringing that up, Casey, let me know when you find that. And here's the deal. Here's the deal, man. I'm pretty sure Kayleigh McEnany had a similar jacket. I found the one with the black buttons, but I'm pretty sure she had the same thing where it just looked like nipples. But everybody was actually thinking, I
know exactly what you're talking about. And the fashion designer that created that is an asshole to women, but I'm a fan. So
yeah.
Dylan
is Dylan on what is he smoking right now? He's had some really weird, funny comments.
Because
Dylan is
John Cena
is smoking the anti-Asian hate right now. He's loving it.
He's married to a Chinese national. He's never going to be allowed back.
Hey, listen, Dylan. Listen, you have to stay American, my friend.
I'm fighting that battle all the time, dude.
Hey,
constantly.
Suni,
he's
would
like,
you wear that jacket?
Suni, oh my God, I love that. Oh my God, that's wonderful.
I wouldn't wear it. I wouldn't wear anything that she wears. I got swag, right? I'm not throwing on a dress suit. You might catch me in some J's, a nice Nike, get up.
Or an elf sweater.
Katie, by the way, Kayleigh McEnany is legitimately hot. She's the hottest, she's the most beautiful. Sorry. She is the most beautiful press secretary we've ever had. I'm not the one saying it. They're all saying it. Everybody raves. Oh, Kayleigh McEnany, you're the best.
Is it because she's blonde?
Oh.
Because I don't think she's pretty at all. Like, I don't think
you don't think Kayleigh McEnany's pretty?
She's not bad, but I've seen women like.
Who did you prefer, Sarah Huckabee?
Oh, we're talking out of the press conference secretaries?
Yeah, she's
out
the
of
best
all of them
press
ever.
Secretary in history.
Okay, yeah, she's the cutest one. I wouldn't say she's hot. No.
She is no matter what, but come on, like when the bar is this low, there's like a lot of room to move here. So it wasn't a fair comparison. But she was the first. Yeah, so Sarah Huckabee was the first female press secretary, right? So like there's only been 3 at this point. So like obviously she's gonna be the hottest one, but at the same time, like
all right, so now I want to poll the audience, and then Casey, you go. Right now, if you think Kayleigh, take away her being press secretary. If she is hot, put hot. If she is not, put not. Not saying the best looking press secretary.
I'm in the midst of a bunch of white dudes judging white women. Come on.
I identify as 22% African American.
I identify as a cracker. So what in the hell are you talking about?
I identify as a Dago Guinea.
This is not a fair assessment. So we need some brothers in here. I'm sorry.
You can call me the Dago if you want, or the Guinea, or the Wap.
If there is any blood, well, I'm a Jew-up, like the song Jew-up, because I'm half Jewish. All right.
That is not how it goes. You're so white.
Go fly a kite.
Wait. We got a knot. We got a knot.
How long until Brandy Love is the press secretary?
Okay, can I talk about that? Because as the Turning Point president for the Colorado State chapter, I am so goddamn disappointed right now.
Why?
Do you guys really want to have the conversation on the porn industry? Because that's what this comes down to.
Go ahead. We had it yesterday with a lot of Lexic and Turning Point people.
Yeah, so porn is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And so what are conservatives chomping at the bit now for? Make it illegal. No, make it illegal. Make it illegal, right? The problem is you're not going to ever make porn illegal. You're never going to, it's not going to be made illegal at any point. Drugs are illegal, still happens. Murder is illegal, still happens. Guns are illegal in most democratic cities. Still people are getting shot. Porn's never going to be illegal. So since you cannot make it illegal, what are the problems? First, it's terrible destructive influence on young boys. It's horrible. I will attest to it. I struggle with it. I try really hard not to watch porn, but it's very difficult not to at times, right? It is a destructive thing. So we need to keep porn out of young boys' hands. Let's make it illegal. Like, why? Just because you as a parent cannot say no when your young boy asks for a smartphone? Oh, by the way, that's what they're going to use a smartphone for. Games and porn, some social media in there, but it's going to be games and porn. Some Reddit, maybe, but like Reddit for porn. Like, you as a parent.
Kevin needs a show called Games and Porn.
Hold on.
I could start an OnlyFans channel at any point here. Do we think it would be successful? I could just be a naked live streamer doing games and stuff like that. No, but
you just added the naked thing. Whoever said anything about you being naked, you freak? Jesus.
Oh my God.
I only put clothes on today because I was coming on the show. So, yeah. But
yeah, I think he really wanted that as part of the event.
But no, this is like, you can't keep it out of like the boys issue, young boys. That's on parents. I'm sorry, we cannot continue to abdicate our responsibility to our children to the government. Just because porn's bad doesn't mean that the answer is, come on in, government. Why don't you take care of this for me? This is terrible.
She's not cute. Plastic surgery out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'll agree.
I agree. But like,
she's disgusting.
What are some of the other issues with the porn industry? Let's move on to the ones that she would be very helpful in addressing, right? The porn industry is disgusting. The way it treats the women that are in it is absolutely abhorrent. Like, it is a horrible industry. The women and the men are terribly compensated. They're made to do things that they're entirely uncomfortable with. There is sex trafficking out the wazoo. Many of the people that are participating in it are suffering from severe psychological issues. A lot of the women that are in there doing some of the most disgusting things you'll see have most likely been subjected to incredible amounts of sexual assaults, especially when they were growing up. Granted, some are there because it's empowering, yada, yada, but for the vast majority of girls that go into porn, it is destructive, it is terrible. If you have someone like Brandy Love, who is near the top of the charts in porn, what you have is a channel into the industry from which you can actually do something positive. You can start creating an environment where there's more controls on the distribution, where women are more fairly compensated, where they're more taken care of, where there's more, where they actually like encourage the men and the women to participate in psychology, like in therapy and stuff like this, where you actually make positive changes to a terrible, disgusting industry to fix the issues that you as a parent can't really control.
So you're talking about regulating. You're talking about just a so I have to.
I'm talking about unionize women, helping the porn industry unionize, helping these people get some of the power, because it is an industry wherein if you are a performer, you have zero power until you somehow blow up to the top. And very few women ever do that. If you do not do that, you are doing degrading, disgusting, inhumane things to yourself the entire time, almost for almost no pay. And
you want to know the funniest thing about this Brandy Love situation? They kicked her out.
Can somebody tell me what's going on with Brandy Love? That's my whole question.
So she's a conservative porn star. Sorry, Casey, I apologize.
Yeah, she's a porn star. That she's conservative, and she's trying to run for where? Where is it again? She's trying to get more involved in politics in general.
Oh, okay. I thought she was going to be a press secretary. I was like, I don't see how that.
When, because she's a porn star, so. Maybe Bill Clinton's son or daughter, and then she's press secretary.
Let me, if you don't mind, I'll kind of give you some context on this. So when she entered the SAS PAC, there was actually no issue. It was that, in essence, I watched a news article on this tonight, so this is my understanding, and it could be wrong, but we'll adjust if we need to. It's that Turning Point USA does not allow for any individual who is posting their SAS content to also be engaging in sexual content as well. And so that's the issue that was met at the SAS meeting.
Yeah, and it's absolute trash.
There was a conflict of whether or not she could post the SAS pictures to her personal account, which is the one that is up on the screen right now. So that's the technical details.
The point of the reason that everybody's pissed off is because they were at a student action summit. I know a lot of people that were there.
I've gone to 3 of them. I was supposed to be at the 4th. Yeah.
There is no reason for a porn star to be there, period, point blank. And on top of that, you can't be in porn and be conservative. I'm sorry. Conservatism is a lifestyle.
Okay, 10 years ago, it would have been you cannot be gay and conservative. You cannot be trans and conservative. Yet Turning Point prominently features people such as Rob Smith and others such as the MAGA tranny and stuff like that. Like this is absolutely ridiculous. You know, you can disagree with what Brandy Love does, and you know what? It's a horrible industry, but at the end of the day, it is an industry that is going to exist. So why not do what you can to improve the lives of the people that are participating in it and potentially helping people get out of it? Because here's the thing. If you can help women specifically women find themselves and improve themselves and like get that therapeutic help, they're more likely to leave the industry. You're more likely to have.
That's not a conservative's job though. Like,
okay, but again,
this was geared towards kids. So
yeah, I go to it. I've gone to it every year for the past 3 years. By the way, it is billed as conservative spring break. We went there to party and get absolutely fucked up every time.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with this being and this is I'm a conservative. Okay, do not call yourself a conservative group and allow teenagers to come and party, drink, and do all this other shit and have porn stars there. Just call it Turning Point USA. Don't even attach a certain conservatism to it, because this is why these people are pissed off. You are attaching somebody's lifestyle, something that they hold near and dear to themselves.
It would be the most hypocritical thing in the world, because I know so many people within this organization. I'm very good friends with a lot of people in this organization, and they absolutely party. It's a conservative spring break. Not every conservative is a Christian. Not every conservative disagrees with partying.
Hang on. So let's clear this up though.
Yeah,
no. Know what's super hypocritical?
Yes.
How in the hell do they know she's a porn star?
Well, it speaks to the issue. Yeah. Obviously. Well, she also brands herself as such.
This is the point that no one wants to admit. Porn is the most accessed websites on the internet, but no one goes to them.
Look, there's so many issues that a conservative voice in the porn industry could help with. We have incest porn skyrocketing to the top of all the charts. We've got girls that are coming in younger and younger that are getting transported in from Russia and stuff like that. These things that need to be addressed, and making illegal that's in no way, shape, or form gonna help the fact that girls are abused in this industry. Girls aren't paid in this industry. It's not gonna help the trafficking issue at all. They're just gonna go to other countries that are much worse off. If it's illegal here, even if they don't still produce it here, it's going to be produced somewhere. It's a huge industry. It makes tons of money. It's going to do something. So why don't we make America the place that every porn company has to produce their stuff? And oh, by the way, we also have the best environment for someone to get into the industry that's going to lead to the least dehumanizing pornographic material, that's going to lead to the least dehumanizing environment for it.
Agreed.
Turned up USA. I like that. So I before we move on to another topic, I think this whole putting things in a box on what is conservative is going to shrink.
Come on, bro. Go. I'm listening, but I'm going to challenge you on this. I'm listening. I'm going to.
So now we've taken it from Christianity to now even conservatism. If you want a conservative to be everything that fits, that means you're ruling out adulterers. That means you're taking, then you're going to take away anybody that's conservative. So where there's going to be a very small box of conservative.
What is conservative about this lady? The top of her banner is her in a fucking bikini. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What is conservative?
What is conservative? It's elegant.
No, I was going to say, what is conservative about saying, okay, government, take care of this?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Because they're also they advocate for it to be made illegal. That's their big push, is to just be made illegal.
Everybody who calls themselves conservatives are not conservatives. And look, I'm just going to be real about it. You can call yourself conservative all you want, but if you don't live a conservative lifestyle and you don't line up with what conservatism means by definition, you're not a conservative.
So break down exactly what conservatism is before Eric talks, because I want to know how small we're shrinking in the United States. We are flawed fucking human beings in the United States. We are shrinking that down to a point where, I mean, if we're conservatism, I know is a lifestyle, but it also is something.
It's not a political party.
It's not a political party, but it's a political lifestyle. That's part of that. Is
Not at all.
like, I don't identify with being a Republican. I identify more with being a Republican. It's a wide spectrum. So what does it mean to be conservative?
You believe in traditions. You're opposed to change.
So then, okay, with that said, I do not want to be conservative.
What traditions and what?
You shouldn't call yourself conservative.
Then I typically say I'm
What are you trying to preserve?
What do you mean? Morals. I don't know why we have to. Here's the thing. When you look at everything she stands on, Naughty in America, emancipated 1776, do you really think, if we go back to the godfather of conservatism, who is Edmund Burke, do you really think they would be like, and welcome this woman with open arms while you're acting the way you are? Now, if she wasn't promoting this stuff, then cool. You want to help? You want to encourage the youth? Then you go right ahead and do it. But when you bring your immoral lifestyle, number one, it's the porn industry. You just said how bad it was. And you present it to a group of teens and people know who you are. And then the parents are upset because you're not leaving.
They didn't do a good job.
Right. You're not living a lifestyle. Don't say you're conservative and not know what conservatism is. It's a lifestyle.
The parents didn't do a good job.
Then cool. Parents don't do a good job, but they still have every right to say what they want as parents. Those are their children. If I was there, you can best believe I would have raised hell. Why are you here? This is for teens.
Yeah, the fact that the problem is that teenagers recognized her. She should have been able to exist there, and none of the teenagers recognized her. None of the kids recognized her. Her being recognized is a direct failure of the adults. That it is a direct failure of the parents that raised them. It is a direct failure of the parents that didn't say no when they said, "Can I have a smartphone?" at the age of 13, 14, 15. Right? No, her being recognized, she should be allowed to be there. You can be conservative. Let me ask you this, Suni. Is porn 100% bad?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so there's no situations where it helps
your brain up.
No, is there no situation?
No, porn is not helping anybody.
Okay, so studies show that porn is good for married couples, for people who have already psychologically established deep connection. Porn can actually help. I'm just saying, like this, it can help stimulate sex life in a married couple. Something that stagnates, it can help reinvigorate.
Listen, bro. If you have a problem being sexually attracted to your spouse, and you need porn to do that, I want to divorce you. Goodbye.
Well,
I should be
ask that in 20 years. Ask that in 30 years.
I've been married 10. And listen, I've had the same partner since I've been in high school.
And that is wonderful, and you don't need it. But what about, do you think then that if I'm not sexually attracted to my partner and we have a 12-year-old kid, it would be better for me to divorce than try watching porn to get back into sex with my wife? Something that could potentially...
It's disrespectful.
Disrespectful. Period. What if it helps reinvigorate our love life? All of a sudden we start learning new things and we start having new experiences.
Kevin's leaving out the concept that you're supposed to watch it with the significant other, not in a closed room.
What I'm trying to prove is that there are situations in which it is not 100% bad.
Eric, go ahead.
So Suni, as you know, I've been interacting on your IG lives, right? And one of the things that kind of came up last night in this conversation about conservative, not conservative, was I think specifically about what conservatism is as a movement, right? And there's one area where I think there is distinctual differences between conservatives who are fiscal and conservatives who are social. Now, a lot of times they will fall under the same bucket. I don't know that denigrates the conservative movement specifically, but definitely one of the things that I see, and this is a precept that I'm kind of working off of when I think about conservatism, is we want to preserve the God-given rights that we have as a nation, right? That's what our founding documents support, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That includes, and this is not to say porn is a good industry or supportive of that movement. It is simply to say God gave us the first thing he gave us was the agency to choose, and then ultimately rules and conduct to live by in order to live again in his kingdom. So when we take it back to conservatism as a whole, I will simply say that there are different versions that come out of that. I don't necessarily agree that there should be. I'm just simply saying that people absolutely identify themselves as conservative or fiscal conservatives. And then on the other side, you have people who absolutely identify as social conservatives. Neither one of them is wrong. They are just half of the story. And I think what Kevin is trying to paint a picture of, and this could be wrong, so Kevin, correct me if I'm incorrect, is that if we don't band together under one umbrella, it doesn't matter where we go as a country, because it will be undecipherable as to the conservative or principal movements that allowed for this country to exist in the first place. So it's not saying that conservative values as a whole is wrong. It's just saying that in this day and age, we have a delineation between fiscal conservatives and social conservatives, and those things ultimately still fall under the umbrella of conservatism. So whether you want to call it Republican, conservative, or whatnot, if we're fundamentally honoring the tradition of personal choice, then conservative also allows for somebody to go and do porn because that is their personal choice.
I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm not saying that people can't do porn. People, look, I never said porn should be illegal. What I said was, if you are a conservative and you're calling yourself a conservative, then live the lifestyle. And I'm a conservative, period. And I don't do this shit. And I would never teach my kids that shit. Yeah. And porn is bad. I'm not advocating that either one of you is right or wrong. Just the distinction is important to understand today as an age. Just to clear it up, conservatism started in the UK, period. To say that the forefathers were conservative, where does it say? Where does it show that they were conservative?
They were all over the spectrum for the time. You had libertarian, anarchists. Yeah, no, they weren't.
She can be a Republican, and there's nothing wrong with that. Well, but us in the conservative party, us not even conservative party, because people have made it into a political thing. But people that are conservative and they live a conservative lifestyle, we should absolutely be able to say that does not represent me. Just like I'm allowed to say certain Black people don't represent me. George Floyd, you don't represent me. And I dare somebody to tell me you need to be accepting of George Floyd. No, I don't. No, I don't.
Real quick, how closely tied is Christianity to conservatism?
I think they go hand in hand.
Okay, so Brandy Love is a sex worker, right? Can you be a sex worker and still espouse Christian values?
No.
Okay, so Mary Magdalene was a nobody. So she was actually not Jesus Christ, one of his best friends in life, one of the people that he loved most in the world. Right?
Correct.
I'm listening.
Yeah, no. So that's my point is you cannot turn away. You can be a Christian and be participating in sex work.
No, you can't.
It's how literally Jesus is.
What does the Ten Commandments say? Jesus said, "Go and sin no more." Yes, he welcomed her.
You know what? We're talking now. You sin, I sin. Crossing the line between religion and so I'm trying to do everything that I can to really hone in on what conservatism is by definition. And again, it's loosely interpreted by every person that does it. But everything that I'm seeing is not necessarily based in religion. It's based a lot on freedom of choice, where the government governs least, a strong national defense, the belief in bearing arms.
Yes.
This is conservatism, which has nothing to do with what the hell somebody does with their body. Now, do I think that that's part of it?
But Anthony, you're looking at it differently than Sunni. A Sunni does, and there are many that follow the same path. Conservatism and Christianity go hand in hand. That is a mindset that many Americans have. That's a mindset that many in Turning Point USA have. And what I'm trying to say is, you cannot turn away someone for the sins that they are committing. How dare you judge someone for the speck in their eye before addressing the log in yours? She can still be a Christian. Who knows? I'm not saying she is. What I'm saying is it's not impossible. You don't know how she interacts with other porn stars. You don't know if she tries to tell other people in porn, hey, you don't have to accept this abusive treatment. You can take control of yourself. What is causing this? We don't know if in her private conversations she's not steering them towards good things. She could be a voice in the porn movement to stop the disgusting, like the extra disgusting stuff like scat porn and the incest porn and all the incredibly depraved stuff, because she's a conservative. She could be more towards representing, towards representing families. Listen, it's a husband and wife videos.
I'm about to shut this entire argument down.
Yes.
I don't speak on things unless I've actually studied this person.
I'm not, and I don't think you haven't at all.
What is it? What does it say?
Yes.
I'm not disagreeing that she is out of the
spectrum.
Is
not a Christian.
Oh, no, she's not a Christian, but you can be conservative without being Christian. Because Anthony was also right in his definition of conservatism.
In fact, we've got somebody in the comments right now, Brent, who says they don't believe in God, but do hold customary Christian, fundamental conservative values.
But look, people can say whatever they want to say. But when you come in contact with a real conservative and they take this stuff serious, don't be upset when we push back, and we're allowed to, man.
But Sunni, it's a tough word.
It's no differently. It's no difference from me saying I don't want George Floyd representing me because he does not speak for all Black people. It's the exact same thing. I don't care whose feelings it hurts. I don't.
According to every bit of research that I see, that I'm doing right now, and I've looked at this before when
you should turn your screen off before you start researching Brandy Love, please.
No, I know it's awkward. But no, I'm looking at core tenets, and I'm looking at everything having to do with conservatism, and there's 37 different definitions. Your definition is not 100% right.
Nobody's just because you're reading a definition, Russo. The definition of racism has changed, bro. So you reading a definition off of a screen to me. The definition of racism has changed years. It doesn't mean the same thing it's always meant. If you're looking at the definition of it.
If you allow that, yeah.
The point I'm making is he had to go read something about conservatism because he doesn't know.
No, because I did not believe that you were right. So I looked it up to see all the different options. Religion is one of them in some of people's definitions. And if you look at conservatism in other countries, if you look at European and Latin American conservatism, it doesn't even include religion.
The thing is that conservative values and Christian values line up a lot. So it is very common to be a Christian and a conservative because a lot of the values and the rights that were established are very similar. However, it is not a prerequisite. And the founding fathers would say it is asinine to think that it is required to. They suggest a spiritual country is necessary, and they do not think our Constitution can function in a country that is not spiritual. But what spirituality is and Christianity are two different things. And so Christianity, most conservatives, most actual Christians are conservative because the values line up. And and you can very much disagree, but I just think what I'm trying to get at is I think it is wrong to turn away a potential ally in an industry that needs so much help. There is so much needed. There are so many women being victimized in this industry that we need to be doing what we can to help good people in this industry. And I think that it is possible to be good and a porn star. I just think that we cannot be turning these people away. We need to be doing what we can to help these girls out, specifically these girls out in this industry. That's what I'm getting at. And that's why I think it's wrong to have kicked her out.
And look at what I did when I was just trying to make a mock of a what's her face, Miss Bill Clinton's girlfriend.
You started it. What's up, Easy? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I actually don't think that it's a problem that they kicked her out at all. And for one reason and one reason only is because they have a specific rule on the books for their events that delineates these types of situations. So private company, private business, They are allowed to make the choice. That being said, I don't necessarily disagree that by being slightly more inclusive in the conservative movement, that we have an opportunity to jump ahead. But to be fair, and this is just total honesty, had a couple of drinks so everybody can take it as that. I'm split right down the middle between where Sunni's at and where Kevin's at, where it's kind of a liberal take on one end of extreme freedom, and on Sunni's end where there is a conservative movement that is specifically centered on our fundamental beliefs that were soundly and ultimately articulated in a Christian Judeo value. So
all I'm saying is, and I'll rest my case.
I'm just going to tap out.
Yeah, this is what all I'm saying is, when people speak up for what they believe in, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with what they're saying besides I've offended somebody, I'm making somebody feel less included, don't tell them they're wrong. And to me, that's a form of censorship. If you say something and I have views and morals and I'm going to challenge it, you can't say, well, your way is not right, but we have to be accepting of everybody. Yeah. That's fine.
Are we talking about what are we talking about? Are you talking about the actual the organizers? Or I'm confused. Yeah. What was that in reference to?
The organizers, this live. I'm telling you what conservatism is because I've lived it my entire life. And you're like, well, that's not what the definition says. I don't care about definitions.
Then you're not listening to what I'm saying, because I got to clear that up. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying none of us are right. Yeah. I'm saying there is such a wide range of conversation around what conservatism is that the only person wrong in an argument like this is the person that thinks they are 100% right.
Good point. No, I just to rest my case, like I my entire time in college, I have been incredibly involved with Turning Point. I have organized events that have brought Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump Jr. to my campus. I've participated a lot, and it's gotten frustrating, the amount of hypocrisy, because if you're gonna like, what even is conservatism? I have no idea. I don't know what the values and the morals are anymore, because I'm not a conservative. I'm an anarchist. I'm just looking from the outside in, right? Like, I just believe in personal liberty. I have seen 10 years ago, the conservative movement would have said that people like Rob Smith are disgusting violations of God and should not be allowed anywhere near Turning Point. And yet he is featured on their stages and is one of the most prominent members. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just pointing that out. And so to say Brandy Love, who had paid for and received a VIP ticket to the event, see her get kicked out is just mind-boggling to me, because I know the hypocrisy of Charlie Kirk. This is the same man that said that Donald Trump would be the worst thing that had ever happened to this country in 2016, and denied ever saying it. It's the same man that he's done this on multiple, like, so many occasions. So I just know he fired someone in their office because she took a picture with Nick Fuentes. She was fired, removed from their entire thing because she took a picture with Nick Fuentes. And regardless of what you think, I am more judging this from the perspective of, I am very prominent within this. I have my name associated with this organization a lot, and it is very embarrassing to continually have to explain away why the organization I represent is so hypocritical in the way it addresses things, because there is no delineation. Why is a porn star any worse now than a gay man, when all the Bible says about gay people is that homosexuality is a sin upon Jesus Christ, and one of Jesus' best friends was a sex worker, and yet somehow that dichotomy has flipped. The reality is, no, judging people based on the sin they're performing is the least conservative, least Christian thing you can do, because we're all sinners. I sin constantly. I am born and bred in sin, and so that my whole position is just, I, as someone who is deeply involved with this organization, am just very disappointed in how they're going about it.
It's fair. Let's have a little fun. Let's play this video of Tom Brady trolling Brady, which, by the way that it was presented on Fox and I believe also on MSNBC was either misspoke or they just weren't paying attention, and they said that Tom Brady trolls previous President Trump. I don't know how they got that, but let's go ahead and play this.
It's because I think everyone's on their side.
what down it was. I lost track of one down in 21 years of playing. And they started calling me Sleepy Tom. Why would they do that to me? But we found our rhythm.
This is the joke.
Roll. Not a lot of people, think that we could have won. And in fact, I think about 40% of the people still don't think we won.
I understand that.
You understand that, Mr. President?
I understand that.
Yeah. We're going to challenge.
They literally said that was a joke about Trump. I don't know how that's what they got out of that. I have no idea. That was a direct attack on the fact that 40% of the country still doesn't believe that Biden is our president. But I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Every person.
Russo's a new follower.
Can you highlight Liddy's comment real quick?
She's posting on her porn site about the event. Maybe she should have 2 accounts. Yeah. I don't.
That is my exact argument, is that had she not been posting it, she would not have been breaking the SAS ground rules. That's it.
Why kick her out? Just say, hey, delete those.
We let the topic go.
Anyways, yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, nice job, Casey.
Like, everybody speaks 2 languages.
I was making a Monica Lewinsky joke, and then all of a sudden, here we are. We're getting so serious on a laughing comedy show.
And I still don't understand how people don't think Kayleigh McEnany is a smoke show.
She is! Jesus. She's so smart, dude. She's so quick. She's so hot.
All right. What else do we want to talk about? So actually, this is a factual thing. This is good information if anybody wants to know. If anybody was watching Sleepy Joe do his thing tonight, they talked about some of his core. He wanted to make sure that the country was no longer a trickle down system. He wanted from the trickle. He didn't actually say trickle up. I don't think he knew how to put those words together after saying trickle down. But he talked about how great of a job, after he was talking so much about the middle class, he talked about how he does such a great job in Delaware. Delaware, by the way, the law that he goes, Delaware has more corporations than anywhere in the United States of America. And for the layman, he just let that go without explaining how stupid of a statement that was, and the fact that it had nothing to do with him. In 1899, there was something called a general corporation law passed in the state of Delaware. And there's a lot, if anybody knows anything in the tech world or business world, I know Easy's had a few businesses. He probably knows all about taking big gulps out of his chalice, and the Delaware corporation system. It essentially alleviates tax laws. There's a whole long explanation of why, but 60% of the Fortune 500 companies are Delaware corporations because of the way that it's set up. Lawyers recommend it. Investors want it. It's easier for everybody, and everybody makes more money. What's fascinating about his whole thing about Delaware having corporations that he didn't even think about, he's talking about the middle class, and in the end, his state gives tax havens to big corporations. I don't disagree with Delaware business corporations. I get the whole system, and they grandfather clause, and it blew up because New Jersey was the other one that did it, and they got rid of it. So Delaware is just known for this. It's what they're known for. It's got nothing to do with you, Joe, and in the end, it actually hurts the American taxpayer if you really want to look at this whole pay your fair share era, and it's just such bullshit. Some of the other things he said. Also, if anybody watches, you'll see that everybody in the room is like being forced to clap. I thought I was watching a propaganda piece. Everything that he said when he leaned into the camera, just please watch, because you need to know your enemy. And he legit would say something and do the squint in the eyes, and somehow everybody in the room would clap just for like finishing a sentence, and it was like they were forced and propped up to be there. It was fucking terrifying. And the last thing he said that was, I wish there was fucking fact checkers, but they all retired after Trump because they said, oh, he tells the truth. Talked about a $300, when Casey and I were on, $300 tax credit, talking about a $350 tax credit for those with kids under the age of 7. He said he cuts childhood poverty in half. Can anybody explain to me how that's a possible fucking statement? Anybody?
I didn't go to a socialist math class, so no.
Yeah, math is hard.
Go ahead, Easy.
So there is one instance in which this child tax credit benefits individuals, and it's if they uphold the current 2021 child tax credit alleviation, which increases the child tax income credit from $2,400 to, I believe, $3,600. Now, if you're like me and you're an average citizen in the United States, you try to pay as little taxes as possible.
Oh, buddy, you're not average. Go ahead.
Well, I like to think of myself occasionally.
Just slightly below.
Definitely well below. But the issue is that it becomes an income gap level issue. So let me present it this way. If you make $75,000 in a household, you will get the full income earned tax credit for a child before you are able to file for your 2021 taxes in 2022. The issue with that is not so much that people are going to overpay in taxes. It's that they're underestimating the fact that they're getting a pre-tax payment today. So when you receive your, I think it's $300 per under 6-year-old and $250 per over 6-year-old child, what you need to be able to do is understand your current income and the 21 projected income and delineate whether or not you're going to owe taxes typically based on the earned child income tax credit. And it's very difficult to delineate because there is a 1-year caveat. So this year, they are allowing for $3,400 or $3,600 per child under the age of 6 as deductible. Now, where this gets complicated is those who have children over the age of 6 and between the ages of 18 who do not claim tax themselves as individuals. You could end up owing the government your entire full income earned child tax credit. So it's very important as people are looking at this to understand this is a pre-tax payment on an expected deduction in the future, not a
Tax law with
universal basic income.
God, and he even had the right pacing when he said it too. I mean, I fell asleep halfway through, but I'm sure it had a lot of really good information in it. So
These are the H&R Block videos they don't want you to see.
Listen, I pay a lot of taxes. I want to know exactly where that damn money's going.
Yeah, well, there's a toilet probably somewhere in your house. It's right
gotta
there.
flaunt the high tax payment. Oh, I get it there, Captain Privileged. All right, whatever.
I just get to be a parasite. I don't appreciate this.
He's going to go to Jeff Bezos' house next and start protesting that he's not paying.
Okay, can we talk about the fact that looked like a penis, right,
shooting a giant phallus-sized rocket ship into the space in the next 12 months. That's my
100% look like a dick. 100% look like a dick.
That looked like a penis, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, it did look like it had balls.
Anybody think of Austin Powers when seeing?
Yes, I'm immediately like, it looks like a giant Johnson.
Johnson.
They even played that. They played that bit on Fox News. They actually played that whole skit on Fox News, and they were saying, "Did you see Jeff Bezos' rocket?" Yeah, that was kind of weird. What else we got? Let's see. Jim Crow on steroids was the other thing that Tweedle Twat Bitey said. Let's end the show with Fauci and Rand Paul because that was
oh please.
Fun.
That came up just before the porn topic.
Maybe Suni will laugh a little bit.
I was going to say, can
I'm
Suni
sorry
go
if I
first on
pissed
this
you
one?
off.
Yes,
I apologize if I pissed you off, Suni. It's my bad.
No, I just don't. I'm different. I don't
you're
think
fine.
topics like that are funny. So sorry, it's just not funny to me.
There was very little laughter occurring.
Well, that part of the show was. I think that was a serious conversation. I don't think that was meant to be funny per se.
Sure.
Let's see. Bum, bum, bum.
But Rand Paul, like Anthony Fauci,
This
oh my
was
God.
awesome.
This is another example. We've seen a lot of body language stuff tonight, and people speak 2 languages. They speak the language, of us, and body language. And watch Fauci's hands throughout this.
Oh yeah, Fauci's hands were absolutely fucking epic. All right, here we go. And the Fauci coming in hot.
No audio.
Oh yes, let's go.
Hold on, I got no audio on my side either. Which
suck it, nerd. I mean,
well, that's weird.
That's weird. I just pulled a Suni.
No, there's the thing is there's audio. It's actually got. I did the audio share. It's not playing. Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's that Mac. You got to start it over again.
There you go.
Dr. Fauci, knowing that it is a crime to lie to Congress,
There's an echo.
you wish to
That's me.
retract your statement of May 11th, where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan.
We can't hear it anymore.
Microphone.
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I do not retract that statement. This paper that you are referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain as not being gain of function. What was, let me finish.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans.
Right.
You're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about. Okay, you get one person.
Let's read from the NIH
Chair, can I
definition of
answer the
gain of
question?
function. This is your definition that you guys wrote. It says that scientific research that increases the transmissibility among mammals is gain of function. They took animal viruses that only occur in animals and they increased their transmissibility to humans. How you can say that is not gain of function?
It is not.
It's a dance, and you're dancing around this because you're trying to obscure responsibility for 4 million people dying around the world from a pandemic.
And let's let Dr. Fauci.
I have to, well, now you're getting into something. If the point that you are making is that the grant that was funded as a sub-award from EcoHealth to Wuhan created SARS-CoV-2, that's where you are getting. Let me finish.
We don't know.
Well,
we don't
wait
know
a
if
minute.
it did
I
come
can-
from the lab, but all the evidence is pointing that it came from the lab, and there will be responsibility for those who funded the lab, including yourself.
I totally
This committee
resent-
will allow the witness to respond.
I totally resent the lie that you are now propagating, Senator, because if you look at the viruses that were used in the experiments, that were given in the annual reports, that were published in the literature, it is molecularly impossible.
No one's saying those
It
viruses
is-
caused it.
it
No
is
one alleging that
molecularly-
those viruses caused the pandemic. What we're alleging is that gain of function research was going on in that lab, and NIH funded it.
That
You
is
can't
not-
get away from it. It meets your definition, and you are obfuscating the truth.
I'm not obfuscating the truth.
Senator
You are the
Paul's
one.
time is expired,
Look
but
at his
I will allow
hands.
the witness to.
Let me just finish. I want everyone to understand that if you look at those viruses, and that's judged by qualified virologists and evolutionary biologists, those viruses are molecularly impossible
No one's
to
saying
result
they are. No
in
one's saying those viruses
SARS-CoV-2.
caused the pandemic.
Senator Paul,
We're saying they are gain of function viruses because they were
They're not.
animal viruses that became more transmissible in human, and you funded it.
And
Don't
you
admit the truth.
and you
Senator
implying
Paul, your time has expired, and I will allow witnesses who come before this committee to respond. Dr.
and you are implying that what we did was responsible for the deaths of individual. I totally resent
could
that.
have
And if
been. And it
anybody
could
is
have been.
lying here, Senator, it is you.
Senator Smith.
Oh my god, that smug fucking look, Jesus.
That one.
The thing is with him, if you notice what we were doing, he actually admitted in that statement what we were doing. He knew funding was going there and it was involved, and he just admitted it by saying what we were doing in that lab.
You can see the moment he fell into the legalistic, because what's going to matter is the legalese that's pertaining to this. When Dr. Senator Rand Paul said the thing that Fauci needed him to say to open up the legal way out, you can see the moment he jumped on it. You can actually, like, he gets excited and he starts leaning forward and pointing. Like, that is the exact moment when Senator Paul said exactly the thing he needed to give Fauci the technical opening to say, look, technically I didn't do what you're accusing me of technically. In fact, you did it. You did what I'm accusing
He managed
you of.
he spun it to say, you're trying to say that I directly caused SARS-CoV-2. And it's like, who the fuck said that? Nobody said that. We just said, like, he's going, did you guys do gain of function research? So I don't know if I was talking to Casey or who I was having this conversation with. He never actually lied. Fauci never lied. he managed to avoid the conversation and the actual topic to the point where all it was two guys getting angry with each other, but he did not once lie to Congress there because he managed to avoid answering the question with pure and utter deflection. Because if he answers the question, he loses.
Well, he looked like a doctor who had spent none of his life practicing law, and it was hilarious to watch.
Russo's going through puberty again.
I
want to, like, Senator Paul.
I can ask what Suni thinks about this.
Yep, Suni, what do you think? Muted. You're Anthony.
I don't really give two fucks about Fauci. I don't give a fuck about COVID. I don't care about none of it. Like I told you guys before, I don't wear a mask. I go on base, I don't put on a mask. I go in the store, I don't put on a mask. I don't care. And I had no clue this existed. And clearly he was lying because his fingers were flopping around. He was nervous. He definitely got triggered. Usually when you touch a point where somebody knows the truth on something, they react that way. Yep. If he had nothing to hide, I probably would have laughed. Like, you're funny. This is what you really think is going on? Okay.
Okay. It, yeah, exactly.
One more question. What do you see his body language telling us across the board?
We're touching on something that they don't want uncovered.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if this comes out, because here's the thing is we didn't directly fund it. It's like, yes, but if you just theoretically, the numbers are all theoretical. If you give a business $5,000 and they spend $5,000 different dollars on something else because now all of a sudden they can use your $5,000 to pay rent, you are responsible for the other thing they purchased, because once that money's added to that pool, it doesn't matter anymore. It's just the total.
And on top of it, they know that they were doing gain of function. And even if they weren't, the fact that if you know that they're doing gain of function research there and you fund that lab, you are funding a lab that participates in gain of function research. Plain and simple.
Yep. Well, it's like Tom McDonald says, Percocet addict doesn't donate to pharma.
Oh my God, that is the other bit. I thought Big Pharma was like the evil asshole of the room. And I never knew. I personally, after all the wonderful conversations I had with young socialists, I was like, at least they understand how evil the pharmaceutical game is. And they're telling me I need to only buy their vaccines. Wait. I can't do the ivermectin that works? I can't.
Oh, he said it.
No.
Said
oh shit, we're getting pulled. We're getting pulled. Like, it's like Big Pharma, who benefits the most? Big Pharma literally benefits the most from door to door, like going door to door to pass out vaccines. And yeah, you guys are like, oh, we hate Big Pharma. Don't worry. By the way, we hate big corporations. Only use Pfizer and Walmart. Those are the only places I shop and get vaccines.
You know, I'm going to explain why this matters to me. So finally, after 2 years on the Schneid, or a year and a half on the Schneid in terms of events, I've got some stuff coming up that's sports related, that's fan based, because I'd be in charge of fans and fan interaction. And finally, and by the way, the conversation was made on, you do know Anthony's political beliefs. Is this okay? Like, why does that even fucking come up? But anyways,
quick question: are we talking like the oscillating type or the overhead type?
People yelling, woo!
Oh,
yeah.
Got it.
So I finally have a gig, and it's my best paying gig that I've done over the years, and it would be incredibly helpful. Yeah, don't clap yet, because 2 days after I got the gig is when all of the now Delta strain, Delta variant, all this stuff came up. And I'm looking down the barrel of a college football season that I'm given 50-50 if they're going to allow full fans right now because of this Delta strain and these, whatever coming up. So to me, it matters. And the fact that, we're not putting any responsibility, and how many more dollars can they possibly print out for people? And it's like, I don't know at this point, but I'm hoping that somehow this gig continues. But I think, I mean, COVID matters, unfortunately. That's why we continue to talk about it. And it sucks. It fucking sucks that we are looking down the barrel of another shutdown. And what they're doing is, instead of talking about the truth, they're literally blaming it on the unvaccinated people, which I mean, it's so
blame it on the Jews, man. Just blame it on the Jews. Blame everything on the Jews. It's easy. Oh, I mean, sorry, the unvaccinated. I'm sorry, the Armenians. I'm sorry, the the bourgeois. I don't. My gosh, man, it's weird. They keep just doing this weird thing where they're trying to turn people against minorities, against some people of some kind of minority, descent. It's weird. Not descent in this case, but it's just constant authoritarian grabs, man. We just got to keep pushing back.
It's so funny to watch people on the news, even on conservative news, which is funny because people are going the anti-vax crazy crowd on Fox News. Like if you've watched Fox News, they are not anti-vax in any way, shape, or form. They are very pro-vax. But there's a guy that literally the words out of his mouth, and I said this on last night's show. He's like, if it doesn't tell you enough that that vaccinated people are getting COVID by the droves, if that doesn't tell you enough that you have to get vaccinated, I don't know what else to tell you. I was like, what the fuck did I just hear? That doesn't make any sense at all. And I think we're full of shit on numbers, real quick. The 97% thing is such bullshit. How can we have such a mathematical difference between other countries and us? Other countries are showing 60-40 splits, and we're showing 97-3. It's mathematically impossible that that's the hospital split that we're having. It's bullshit. It's all that to me is where we're starting to enter the complete lies. Go ahead.
I'll just add to that and say, simply put, is if you look at what happened just yesterday in the UK, where they came out and said 60% of the people hospitalized currently are people who have been double vaxxed. And then statistically speaking, they changed that number within, a couple of hours of the press conference to flip-flop, the 60-40 split. I'll just caution everybody to remember that while we were in the heat of this pandemic here in the United States, there were exactly 0 hospitals that I'm unaware of that used authorized use treatment that were overrun with COVID patients. So I'll just point to the fact that anybody who came into a hospital and expired during that period of time, which the average age I think right now is something like 76 or 78, which is far beyond the life expectancy of the average American.
It's 84. It's 83 or 84.
Is it 83, 84? It was within shooting distance, if not above what the world average is. I'll just say this, as simply put, is that statistically speaking, it lines up with the same sentiment of if you get if, for example, if you get in a car accident and there are traces of alcohol in your blood or cannabis in your blood, some of those things can last for days and have no impact on the event that took place currently. And I think a lot of our CDC numbers internally are reflective of non-related specifics. And so just remember that as we look at these numbers to say, well, I need to understand how many people came in here with respiratory illness versus a heart condition.
Right.
Because we do understand there are some specifics around this issue.
There was another number. So I remember at the end of last year, and this is a question I have, and I don't know if you guys can answer this, because right now I'm at the point where they're making shit up. This is why I also talk about the FDA stuff. Like the one thing that collectively we have to be careful about is saying like, it's not even FDA approved. I got news for you. It's going to be FDA approved. So we have to change that verbiage because that's going to give them the gotcha in 6 months, 8 months, a year. And they're going to be like, well, now it's FDA approved. What do you think? The FDA is a broken system. I've said this last night. I say it all the time. There are so many things in our food system that should have been outlawed a long friggin' time ago. Aspartame should not be allowed for human consumption. The FDA approved all these sunscreens that are now, as I've said for a decade, showing to have benzene in them and these skin carcinogens. The FDA is not the end all be all, so we have to stop saying it's not even FDA approved because it's setting us up for failure when they do FDA approve it. With that said, here's my question. So I was seeing this whole study last night saying the average age of death has gone down in the United States. And I'm like, mathematically, that'd be weird because we had the same amount of deaths and COVID was killing older people. So that doesn't make sense. So I looked. I remember that as of January, it was said that, and numbers lag, I understand that, but it was said that there was about 2.9 2.9 million deaths in the United States last year. In 2019, it was like 2.86. It was in that number, and I was like, see, everything's even keel. All of a sudden, you look up the numbers, and it's showing 3.4 million deaths. I get that numbers can lag. How can they lag that much? Except for the fact that miraculously, the exact difference between, not exact, within 100,000, the exact difference between the deaths between the years is how many people died from COVID in the United States of America. How did that miraculously change from January until now? Anybody?
Because we changed the testing scenarios.
Yep. I mean,
I think they're fully manipulating data at this point. Again, this is purely speculation, but I want to know in 2020 when 2019 numbers come out, did they change that much after January? Go ahead, Easy.
Look,
So there isn't actually speculation to be had here. The alternative argument is misdiagnostics, which is above him, as I'm sure that your mom could tell you, and anybody else who's medical field or medical field adjacent. Misdiagnostic is the second precursor to death on an average curve in this United States. So,
medical malpractice is the number one killer.
Huh?
Medical malpractice is a serious killer in America.
Exactly. It's like number 2 to heart disease, which is linked to obesity, diabetes.
It's like 600,000 a year. 600,000 a year are people a year are killed by doctor mistakes.
So my simple point in saying that is I'll go back to what I spoke about before, which is the narrative of drug use in our country, which is if you die while operating a vehicle and you have used cannabis in the 30 days prior to that incident, it gets calculated as a DWI or a cause of death due to cannabis. So we have to be specific when we're talking about CDC guidelines and how they delineate information to the American people. They use a jumbo amount of information and delineate it to the least degree in order to confuse the populace.
But how did we gain 600,000 deaths between January and now for last?
We could have just been waiting, just bureaucratic lag. Honestly, that's the most obvious answer. It's a bureaucracy, man. They make the mistakes all the time. The government sucks. Dude. The government's terrible. Yeah, government's terrible at everything it fucking does. Yeah, the government is terrible at everything it does.
I think the fact that this news kind of quietly just came out yesterday or a couple days ago.
It is suspicious. It is
right around the Delta variant thing, and all of a sudden, because I'm looking at this doesn't make any sense. How is it that we have 600,000 more deaths, 500,000 more deaths than we had in January? Talking about last year, not talking about this year, talking about last year's numbers.
I think you are I think you are not appreciating how deadly COVID is. We had people getting shot by COVID. We had people getting heart attacks and cancer by COVID. Okay. What I think the conservatives continue to do is completely not appreciate the very aggressive nature of COVID and how it's basically a monster patrolling our streets. You see this because they start shutting down cities at 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, you are more likely to be killed in a drive-by by COVID than anything else. You need to stay off the streets.
I heard COVID's only in beer at 10 o'clock. So I don't know about shots.
No, that's Corona.
That's Corona. Super fucked. Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much all we got tonight. Cheers. There's so many things going on, and the big question is, what are they directing us to watch, and what really matters? And I think the division. I think part of one of the bigger issues we've got, and there was a story that came up that I thought of, and I was like, oh, this is really good to end on, and I can't fucking find it again. Instagram. I just feel as though the way that they've been managing to separate the Republican Party or conservatives or anybody that is opposing, to be honest, I don't even want to use any political groups. I want to use people that oppose the current administration they're finding a way to utilize vaccinations, utilize all these different things to still split people, because there is Republicans and conservatives that are pro-vax. Like there is, like there's just, and they're just finding ways of just continuing to split us up.
Let's not forget that when asked on the debate stage and when asked, you know, every presidential candidate said they would not trust a vaccine that was produced by Donald Trump. And yet somehow, some way, we are the assholes for not taking it.
Super weird. Super weird.
And remember, Donald Trump got it. So he also contributed to making sure that we have the vaccine for it.
Oh, yeah, that reminded me. To this person's comment. Where did this comment go? Donald, I applaud you for getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and didn't get COVID. Vaccinated 2 months ago. I've been out and about since March of 2020, and I don't have the vaccine. And if I've gotten it, my immune system fought it off.
I definitely got it. Lost my sense of taste and smell about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And I thought I was going to have the worst Thanksgiving in history. Guys, I breathe easy, go to sleep easy tonight. I got it back 2 days before Thanksgiving.
I was going to say, what? You had tofu for Thanksgiving? Yeah, it sounds like a great Thanksgiving.
Dude, it was miserable, man.
Of the 5-person panel tonight, who experienced an upper respiratory infection between the months of January and June of 2020?
Who are you? You're not my doctor.
This is a HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
The only reason I asked
the HIPAA law, man, HIPAA.
The specific issue that I'm looking at is herd immunity, or particularly specific individual case immunity, right? And we have no statistical data to back up what kind of immunity is offered to those who have had COVID versus those who have had a vaccine to prevent. And one of the concerns that comes up in my mind, understanding just very simple terms of how vaccines are manufactured and created, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, is a dead virus injected into you. The mRNA vaccines are a spike protein that is dead that is injected into you. There are tremendous differences. The only reason I asked that question was simply for one reason, and it's to understand whether or not we're moving away from good vaccines and into vaccines that are ineffective in the long run, and simply to point out that we are having breakthrough cases at an immense rate, and just point out that simple point.
Yeah. No. Anyways, let's do final words. If I'm assuming Suni, let us know what kind of, if you're doing IG tonight, people can go watch. If you don't know, it's Suni the middle child. But anyways, Suni, we'll go ahead and start with you. Final words.
Use your brain. Things for yourself. I don't know if I'm doing an IG. I don't know.
Is there a monsoon? Why are you not doing the IG? Is there a monsoon tonight? What's going on?
She been on IG all day.
If I say why, it'll be mean.
Be mean.
She doesn't like people.
No, I'm just tired of talking to idiots. That's really it.
You came on the show tonight? Wow.
So, Russo, will you leave
you
so we can continue?
Yeah, right.
This hurt.
No,
yeah, you say you hate talking to stupid people, yet here you are talking to us.
I know.
You guys aren't stupid. I really don't enjoy spending my time talking to retarded people. I just don't.
You can't say that.
IG is definitely a different beast. I'll tell you that.
Say that art.
Oh my.
How many ways am I going to be censored as a black woman?
Oh wow!
Oh my God!
We got a race card. We got a race card.
I can't say the R word.
Immediate victory and victim status.
Oh my God! We just saw the core tenet of liberalism in today's America right there. I said something you can't say, and it was sorry, you can't. I'm being oppressed because I'm a black woman, so I can't.
I'm being repressed. I'm being repressed.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to oppress all these white men, and I'm going to take over the show because I'm black. It's like, no, I was kidding.
Tuning shows now.
This kind of racial supremacy has no place in America.
Hold on. There's a special banner just for you, soon.
What?
Bruce?
I'm scared. What is it? Y'all don't want a black hour.
Black hour.
If I gave you guys a black hour,
it would start 15 minutes late. What?
CPT.
And we would have nothing to contribute.
You are stereotyping, all right? I'm on time for everything.
You are.
My best friend Kobe constantly, like, his big. Yo, dude, where you at? Yo, I'm running on CPT right now, dude.
Hey, look,
I'm running on that CPT. What's that? Colored people time.
Sunny, where you at? And I say I'm on my way. Just know it's going to be like another 30 to
You
45 minutes.
You haven't left.
Did you hear Kevin just have a microaggression talking about his best friend? My best friend's black, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I can use the term CPT, and he's like, bro, and I'm like, bro, and he's like, bro, where you at?
I got on him constantly about that shit. I was like, dude, come on, you can be on time. He goes, no, dude.
You get on your black friend about being someplace? What are you, slave master? What the fuck?
Yo,
you let him come whenever he wants to be there, all right?
I let him come whenever he wants. Okay, Anthony?
This is getting super awkward.
I just heard what you said, and I'm going to exit the stage.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh, my God.
Casey, take it away. Go for it.
Just have some fun, guys. Life's tough, but 2022 is a really important time. And I haven't even talked to Russo yet, but I want to do some shows to talk to the mayors of my city. It looks like we're going to have a replacement this next year, and they're running right now. So I might be doing some shows, having them on.
I would have cussed him out.
That's a really funny statement. If you cut the second part out, my husband made me late. That's called being a father. Anyways, get it? Make me late. Okay. All right. I know, Barbara. We can make jokes. We're good. All right, Kevin, go ahead and wrap it up. Oh, by the way, Casey, sorry, Kevin. If you didn't see the show you weren't on, I actually did your closing words, just so you know, and they were exactly the same that you just said. All right.
No, they didn't. Because I ended it with other words than just
you did. You flipped it a little bit. You added the side thing. All right, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah. Shut your mouth.
Thanks again, y'all, for having me. I want to first and foremost apologize for making the comedy show way too serious. That's my.
Yeah, and that's why you're not on the fucking show anymore. All right. You're wearing a Ronaldo jersey.
You're wearing a fucking
hide under the desk again. I know this move, Kevin. You can't hide under the desk.
This is from his Man United days, motherfucker. 10 years ago. Actually, freaking 12 years ago at this point.
I bet you would like to unite his man, pervert.
Oh, yeah, have you seen him? That is a beautiful man. But yeah, no.
You only support white people, huh, Kevin? You only support white people.
Está Portugués, so yeah, he's Portuguese. So like, I don't know what they qualify as. I don't know where on the intersectional.
You're a minority. You're a minority.
Closer to Italian.
Hey, look,
you're a minority.
As a Sicilian, he's Portuguese. I'm
Can
not.
I be a minority too?
Minority.
A stone drunk white guy? No, you're every guy in California.
Dude. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again for having me. Check me out on Liberty Revolt. I'm on the radio sometimes, AM 1360 if you're in Colorado, and just keep fighting the good fight. Evil can only triumph if good gives up. So just remember that.
Kevin, thank you very much. You're not the you're the oldest college student in the business. Got it. All right. Easy E, wrap it up.
Too old for two.
I kind of leave off where I always do, which is it starts at home and then migrates to your community, to the state, to the legislature, and ultimately to the federal government.
Federal.
Slur of words to be clear.
Federal.
We're having a great time on ConserVengers tonight, so it's okay.
What's the ABV on that beer?
10%. I saw it.
3.5%, and he's had
How
4.
many have you had?
Like 10.
Enough of them to slur a word or two.
So 2.
At home and in your head first, to your local and state governments, and then to the federal government. Let's do that, guys.
The sad part is you're still way smarter than most sober leftists. So that's the good.
Let's be honest. He's got to get it out of his system now because once he comes to Utah, he's got to go to the government to buy his alcohol.
That's damn right. The liquor stores fuck you over.
So guys,
I apologize for the 4-letter word.
I want to think about.
Over to be specific.
What we got to do in this country is we got to just think about what really matters. And what really matters is okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for being on ConserVengers. Suni, Casey, Kevin, Easy E. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to watch the beginning part of this shit show of Biden's thing tonight. And maybe late night when I'm getting real frisky, I'm going to go talk some bullshit.
Please don't come online if you're frisky.
Only when you're frisky, though.
Don't worry. He's 40 and he's on TikTok. So.
Yep. Sorry, I mean, actually, take it as a compliment. I undersold it, man. I undershot the age. It's a compliment.
Hey guys,
Eric is tipsy like a mug.
Oh,
what you talking about? I'm totally sober.
You're totally sober.
Well, San Diego, go fuck yourself.
It translates to a whale's vagina.
Oh my God, Eric, put your pants back on.
I can't.
Take your pants off, Eric.
What about a dork?
It's just what happens.
It's all right. I've had shots too, but I can handle.
Not that many.
Russo, stop studying Brandy Love.
Shots. All right. This conversation got real, and I took the whole cup to the head.
That's what I was trying to cheers you since before we started the episode, Suni. Dang.
We were all trying to contact you, and you were just bopping along. Like, fuck these white people,
man.
They suck.
We need some swagger in here. There's not enough swag.
Hey,
I mean, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
I am.
I'm just gonna insinuate you're responsible for the swag, Suni. So that's on you.
Wow. Wow. Let's end it with a microaggression from Kevin. What a